You've heard it said many times.
No such thing as a stupid question.
But is it true? Are there stupid questions? Yes. Let me explain. And let me start by saying that I love questions, but what is a question? According to the Cambridge Dictionary, a question is a sentence or phrase used to find out information. I'm a teacher and I ask a lot of questions. Many of the questions I ask aren't for my benefit, they're for my students. On any given day, I probably ask over 100 questions. Asking questions is a powerful teaching tool. It helps people to think, it helps them to connect in their prior knowledge, and it helps them to look for solutions. I encourage my students to ask questions too, and I regularly find myself saying things like, there's no such thing as a stupid question. And let me make it very, very clear. I would never discourage someone from asking a question. Oh, you see there's an asterisk there. We'll get to that later. Now, questions are super important. Humans are unique in that, among other things, we are the only species on the planet who can ask questions. Almost anyway. As far as we know, there aren't any other animals who can ask questions, use some kind of communication to find new information. The one exception was Alex the parrot, a highly intelligent grey parrot who was trained and studied by Dr. Irene Pepperberg for 30 years while she studied animal psychology. Alex was bought from a pet store when he was around 1 year old and was trained from there. In his lifetime, he learnt over 100 words and could name about 50 different objects. He could also count to 6, which might not seem like much, but for a non-human, that's freakishly intelligent. Regularly, Alex would be asked questions, and he would answer, and once, only once. After learning the word for the colour grey, he asked what colour he was by asking, "What colour?" This is currently the only instance of a non-human animal asking a question. It's true that we're still learning lots about animal language, but we have no recorded instances of other animals asking questions. Even apes, who have learnt sign language and can answer questions, don't ask them. Humans ask questions, and I will never discourage someone from asking a question. Oh, there's that asterisk again. I'll get to that in a bit. But first, what's stupid? The Cambridge Dictionary defines stupid as silly or unwise, showing poor judgment or little intelligence. As a teacher, I've heard this plenty of times, mostly from older students, which is interesting. Before asking a question, they might preface it with, "This might be a dumb question," or "This might be a stupid question," which I find curious. We ask questions to find out information, to uncover something we don't know, to clarify something, and to help us make sense of something. There is nothing stupid about that. There is nothing stupid about wanting to fill gaps in your knowledge. I think that there is a fear about appearing stupid in front of your friends, your peers, your teacher, but as far as I'm concerned, that's not at all important. Filling the gaps in your understanding, clarifying things, and being curious about the world, they're absolutely fantastic things to do. And if someone wants to find out something, bridge a gap in their understanding, or just curious about something, I will never discourage them from asking a question. Wait, there's no asterisk this time. Okay, just because you don't know something doesn't make you stupid or unintelligent. In fact, wanting to find out more is, well, the very opposite of stupid and unintelligent. Finding out new information, bridging our gaps in understanding, uncovering new things, well, these things are literally learning. Asking questions makes us more intelligent, makes us more clever, more knowledgeable, and that is a brilliant thing to do. So why do I think that there is such thing as a stupid question? Well, it's a bit of a meme at this point that when a teacher or someone well-intentioned says something like, "There's no such thing as a stupid question," someone will try to disprove that by asking a question that they might think is stupid, silly, weird. And these questions actually might not be stupid questions. If a question is asked with the intention of finding out something, uncovering new information, satisfying a curiosity or seeking clarification. If a question is asked genuinely, I don't think it could possibly be a stupid question. If a question is asked but the asker doesn't want an answer or isn't interested in learning about the thing they're asking a question about, they're just throwing words out there for a reaction, they're not trying to learn anything or help someone else learn something, that's when, in my opinion, a question becomes stupid. If someone asks a question to learn something, it cannot be a stupid question. Could a question be asked at the wrong time? Sure. Could a question be unrelated to the topic? Of course it could. Could a question have already been answered, but the asker wasn't paying attention? Definitely. But if someone earnestly wants to know something and asks a question, that question cannot be stupid, and I would never discourage someone from asking it. Carl Sagan wrote in his book, The Demon-Haunted World, Science as a Candle in the Dark, there are naive questions, tedious questions, ill-phrased questions, questions put after inadequate self-criticism, but every question is a cry to understand the world. There is no such thing as a dumb question. I really love that idea that a question is a cry to understand the world. Well, that's what they are. This is why I never discourage someone from asking a genuine question. And in fact, even if someone asks a stupid question, a question they don't want the answer for, I'll take it genuinely because I can't read their mind. They might be serious. And whilst I could guess, I might be wrong. So I do my best to answer in earnest or point them in the right direction. But wait, I'm not done yet. In researching this video, I uncovered something that gave me pause for thought and maybe even concern. There is some evidence that suggests as people age, they ask fewer questions. When someone first starts talking, once they can form sentences and thoughts when they are a toddler, they ask so many questions. Questions about what something is as they encounter things for the first time, questions about why things happen. They ask questions because they are discovering this new world around them. But as people age, become older, children, teenagers, adults, the rates of questioning seems to drop off. It's true that they don't necessarily need to ask what something is if they've already encountered it, but it does appear that their curiosity about the world decreases. At least if we're looking at the frequency of questions as a metric of how curious someone is. This graph is from Warren Berger's 2014 book, A More Beautiful Question, which claims that as children age, the rate at which they ask questions drops off. I think it's interesting. I don't necessarily think it's a good thing. Being curious, conducting inquiries, investigating, asking questions are very human traits, and learning is a beautiful thing. This is why in my classroom, I will never shy away from questions because I want my students to be encouraged to ask questions, to follow their curiosities and to uncover new things. Part of why I'm making videos on this channel is because I love asking questions myself and I find it gratifying to share the things that I've learnt from the investigations my questions have taken me on. If you're a person who is in the privileged position of looking after children in some capacity, so any way, shape or form, whether it be a parent, teacher, babysitter, embrace their curiosity. Encourage them to ask questions and investigate them together. Never discourage a genuine question. So I guess the only stupid question is one that you don't really want an answer for. But other than that, no. There's no such thing as a stupid question. If you genuinely want to find out about something, your question is valid and not stupid. We are all still learning. Well, we should be. Please don't feel like you should know something and that asking a question would make you appear silly. If you don't know something and want to find out more, the best thing you can do for yourself and for your understanding is to ask the question. So go and ask questions. If you have any questions you want me to answer and investigate, even if you thought until now that it was stupid, please post it in the comments below. It might inspire a future video. If you'd like to see more of my videos in the future, please consider subscribing to That's Pretty Cool, where I delve into topics and questions that inspire in me a sense of curiosity and wonder. Thanks again for watching. Take care, stay curious, ask lots of questions, and I'll see you next time.